at the beginning of the month to put together a video on how I made these little advent houses, but I couldn't find a way of making just a talking through kind of video particularly interesting. So I'm going to put the write-up for those on my blog, but these are going to be this week's video. Now, I've been making this kind of decoration for some time, and they're really quite simple to make. You can start with 20 equilateral triangles, put it together like that, or you can go for this design, which is essentially a diamond made of 2 equilateral triangles, or you can go for something like this, which is just an extension on that shape. So depending on what level of make you feel like and what your use is. Now this one was a scrap one made with patchwork paper. It was just kind of a proof of theory, essentially, proof of technique. And since then I moved up to making these because they're a lot easier to do because you've only got 5 pieces to sew together. Now these are filled with fibre fill, so they're really light and they're ideal for hanging on a tree. But I've been thinking, because I do, I'm trying to exercise more and do more stuff generally. I walk and I swim, and that's kind of lots of big movements, lots of big energy, which is good. But then when I'm making, I do lots of little intricate things like this, and I don't have much in the way of middle ground kind of movement, and that's kind of where I'm hoping to get into for this year. So one of my New Year's resolutions for 2019 is essentially to move more in a logical kind of way. Just swimming and walking are all very good for exercise, but having a balance in movement is a better idea. Now, I made myself a set of 4 juggling balls. Now these are filled with lentils, and they've really got a nice weight to them, and they move nicely and they conform to your hand, which is kind of the way you need to go. So that's going to be one of my things for next year, really, is to learn how to juggle. Now, back in the day, back when I was about 8 or 9, I did get up to 3 balls, but I think I only ever did it once and I didn't have the patience to really keep up with the practice and get really good. So this year I'm intending to work towards 4 balls. Now I'm also have entered the Secret Santa gifting thing from Kevin French, and I've got the name of the chap that I'm who is my giftee. Giftee? Yes, giftee. And I've had a look at some of his videos. He's an older chap who does kind of big, chunky woodworking, which again I think that will balance out with the kind of medium level movement with this, because with his woodworking it's all big trunks of trees and that kind of thing. So he's using lots of rather large machines and lots of big movements, as well as the typical kind of woodcrafters, small intricate kind of finishing movements. So hopefully encouraging somebody else to torture themselves with juggling balls is a good idea, and hopefully he'll appreciate these. And he's also he's got sons, at least one son I think, and grandchildren, so one hopes that he can kind of share the enjoyment, share the the practice with his kids, or even inspire his kids to be active and juggle and do more with those skills. So I'm working on my very last ball for him here. Now obviously I can't fill these with lentils because they're going internationally. So I've picked up some of these plastic pellets, which aren't ecologically sound. They are plastic, so they are the big evil at the minute, but they are completely recyclable. So if these balls degrade to a point where they need to be got rid of, they can be recycled. So I'm going to remove the pins and just gently pull my funnel out whilst I'm still feeding them in, so that way I can fill up this last little bit. About there, I think, and then all the rest can drop safely into the box. So just going to tuck in all the rough ends here and ping some beads onto the floor already. Okay, so I'm just going to tuck these in, push the ends together, and stick a pin across the opening. And now I can sew up and then down and then go back around the equator to make sure that all the stitches are about the same. So these I've used a cross stitch of about 2mm, so they're all fairly even. So I've done a lot of sewing, I'm not going to show you any more sewing. So let's see if I can find a solid container for those, because I know what I'm like. Okay, so juggling basics. Start with one ball, toss it from hand to hand, keeping your hands about kind of shoulder width apart, minimal movement. Ideally you're not going much beyond that. You're not throwing it from hand to hand like this, you're throwing it from here to here. And then two balls. So you need to throw one up and over and the other one under. We shall see. Or go the other way, that's better. I think lead with my right, because I'm right-handed. There's still too much movement, I'm still moving this hand too much, I think. But for a start, that's good. So I'm juggling two balls. It's going to take me another 12 months to work out how to do 4. But that's a start. So these, I'll sew that one up and I'll package these and send these off to Colorado, and they're not too heavy. They're probably about 400 or 500 grams, so they're not going to be super heavy in the post. And I wrote a little letter, I think, explaining my mindset, and I just hope that my giftee and his family enjoy learning how to juggle. So I'll see you again next week.